Kimberly. It's hard to over-exaggerate just how very, very carefully curated these events are. They have been perfectly choreographed. So to have something like this happen, very, very unusual and really intriguing as well. What appeared to happen was Hu Jintao, the former president of China, the former general secretary of the Communist Party, one of the most important political figures in the country, he was sat just to the side of President Xi Jinping, and then a couple of officials came over to him. They appeared to be talking to him. They appeared to be trying to persuade him to get up and leave the room. His body language very much indicating that he didn't want to go anywhere. Eventually, they do persuade him to get up. Actually, one of the officials at one point even is seen to be almost putting his hands under Hu Jintao's armpits, almost trying to sort of lift him out of the chair, if you like. And then just before he leaves, he sort of leans in and taps Xi Jinping on the shoulder and says something, and Xi sort of nods. And then he moved to the side and tapped Li Keqiang on the shoulder. Li Keqiang is the premier of China, the second in command, essentially, says something to him, and he also nods. And then he's taken, essentially, out of the hall. So really very unusual, very extraordinary. Worth saying that what's happening in Beijing today is one of the most important political events in China. At the Communist Party Congress happens once every 20 years, and essentially it's a political event that chooses China's next leaders, and the big reveal of who is going to be the most senior top team in charge of China is due to be revealed tomorrow. The timing of where this incident fell within sort of proceedings today is curious as well. What had been happening just before was a session of voting to choose one of the next senior leadership committees, but that actually happened behind the cameras. And really interestingly, just before this incident took place, all the journalists, few select journalists who were allowed into the hall, had just come in. So the whole thing was caught on a bunch of foreign cameras. So that's kind of intriguing within itself. Why this happens? Well, look, China is an incredibly opaque place. It's hard at the best of times to figure out exactly what's going on and exactly why things happen. If this was some sort of big political power play, that would be utterly extraordinary. It's worth saying President Xi is no stranger to purging his rivals, but Hu Jintao was a former leader of the party, and former leaders are very revered. Another option is that he was just potentially quite unwell. He's of advanced years, he's 79 years old, he's known not to be in the best health. It's possible he was just unwell and taken out for those reasons.